Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Rider Review, brought to you by 13K Productions. A little appearance from the dog. Okay, George, go lay down. But the Riders did take home a win. Mind you, it was a very ugly win against the Ottawa Red Blacks. Now, I'm just pulling up the stats here, CFL.ca. The score was, I believe it was 20 to 13. I could be wrong. 20 to 13. Yeah, 20 to 13 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. In a game that really shouldn't have been close. When you have the top rushing attack, when you have Sam Emilus and Keaton Schaefer-Baker back against this Ottawa team in general, it's just. Game shouldn't have been close. So, I guess looking at the player stats here, Harris was 27 to 33 for 341 yards and a touchdown, which I believe he threw to Dante Myers, who went over 1,000 yards in the season, which is something we all love to see. Dante Myers, he had 6 for 6 for 158 yards. Harris, bounce back game. Harris looked good. Of course he made the mistakes, and you know what? That's gonna happen. It's football. You can't play a perfect game. I mean, you can if you're Jared Goff, but unfortunately in the CFL, it's not as easy. You can't play a perfect game, and Harris just didn't play a perfect game. So, you know what? Things are gonna happen. I will say that touchdown pass was 66 yards, and it was a beautiful pass and catch. That, the Riders didn't go deep often, but when they did, they were successful. Harris launched that ball up to Dante Myers, and Myers brought it in for a touchdown. It was a great play. AJ did his thing. He went 18 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown. Did what he needed to do. 2.9 yards per carry isn't the best. That's not something you really want to continue with. You want more than that. But you know what? AJ was phenomenal in last week's loss against the Montreal Alouettes. So you know what? Honestly, you'll take it. Last week's loss against the Edmonton Elks. Sorry, not Alouettes. Anyways, that's, you know what? Sometimes he's going to slow down, and you just got to accept it, and he's going to bounce back next game, and you gotta feel that, TBH, 1 carry, 2 yards, and then Shake and Bake, 1 carry for 1 yard. Like I said, Dante Myers played a heck of a game. He caught all 6 passes that were thrown his way for 158 yards and a touchdown, with 82 yards after catch. That's insane. That's over half of his yards after the catch. This guy's a yak merchant. That's insane. He averaged 26.3 yards per carry, or average 26.3 yards per catch, which is absolutely insane. Dante Myers, have yourself a game. I voted for him for the best receiver because I'm gonna do that. I'm a Rider fan, but I don't know if any of you guys saw the voting there. That's Rider Nation showing up. So, Keyshawn was targeted 10 times, caught 7 of them for 68 yards. It was a tough play when he went up for one hand. I think it was in the third quarter. I could be completely mistaken, but when he went up for that ball with one hand and unfortunately didn't come down with it. Unfortunately, you got to come down with those. You go up with 2 hands if you have to. You know what? You can't be looking to make an insane play. You have to go up for the safe play. Shake and Bake in his return caught 4 of 5 passes for 40 yards. Nailed was 1 of 1 for 23. Emilus 4 of 5 for 22. Ulep 3 of 4 for 20. TBH 1 of 1 for 7, and Ajo 1 of 1 for 3. And Ajo finally, I believe, you got that 2 point. No. So asking what? I don't remember. Anyways, it's this team is we're you know what, we got our bad losses out of the way, and now we took this win back, and hopefully we can take this win and take out Toronto, because we took, like, I don't think we took Ottawa. Ottawa is out of the playoffs, beat them, and now Toronto's not in the playoffs. So we got to beat up on those. We got to beat up on these bad teams to get that. If we win next week, or I guess this week as I'm recording this, if we win Friday, then, you know, the Riders are guaranteed the bye week. And the Riders really, really need that bye week after BC took home that win against Calgary. So you need a bye week with the way this team is going late in the season. You know, it's tough to, it's hard to watch in a way, but it's also, you know what, you gotta stay positive. So, you know, defensively, AJ Allen had 5 tackles. Same thing with Thurman. Carney had 4. Carney, Fields, and Sapp had 4. Brooks had 3, and then 2 split. Schlott split out. There was 3 interceptions, which were phenomenal. AJ Allen read that play like a book. Thurman, he did really well. He's like he knows what he's doing. And then Antoine Brooks with his first CFL interception. I just want to give a quick shout out to Antoine Brooks. You know, you love to see the players there with their first, you know, their first interceptions. You know, you like to see them get into the end zone. And the fact that it was a pick 6, right? Like, they just walked in the end zone, right? So, punts, Mirko, you know, he was good. Not much I can really say about the punts. Sean Bain Jr. looks like he's running for something. I want him to stay on the field there. I want SBJ to be our punt returner for the future. I like it, and if that's the way he gets into, like, great guy. I want him to be on this team, and I like that he's doing that. Campbell Fair, yikes. I made a suggestion on the Green Zone. I called him later that night. I think you call up the UFL's San Antonio Brahmas, wherever the Brahmas are from, and you say, hey, what can we do to get Donald Dillahay up here to the CFL, also known as Destroying? What can we do to get him up here to the CFL? And you know what? He makes big bucks for the league, media attention, revenue. He can make kicks, you know, so it's a win-win for us. It's just tough. I don't know if Brett Leather comes back and does that. So, you know what, you just gotta, unfortunately, things just, unfortunately, that's just the way the ball rolls sometimes, and you just gotta take what you can get. And I mean, the Riders gotta win, and I saw something online, and it was, yes, it may have been an ugly win, but you don't put ugly in the wins column, you put wins. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this episode of the Rider Review, brought to you by 13K Productions. George wants to play right now, so I'm going to go play with him. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn on the post notifications so you get notified when we post another video. And make sure you guys go stream my new song, For the Better. It's out now on wherever you listen to music. And I will see you guys next week. Peace.